everybody, I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing great today. I still have my granddaughter with me. I watch her all week and I kind of have to work around her, but she does go to daycare a couple of times a week and today's her daycare day. So I have a little time to myself. So I thought I'd go ahead and prepare our supper a little bit early today. She's actually gonna have supper with us. So, I say supper, some of y'all say dinner, whatever, it's the same. In the South, it's supper to some of us. But anyways, she's gonna be here for supper, and this is a meal that my husband has been making for years, and we put this together when the grandchildren come because they love it. Kids love this, and I do too. But let's go ahead and throw this together. So first of all, I've already been over at my stovetop cooking because you do have to prepare some things to put this casserole together. So the first thing I did was scrambled 1 pound of ground turkey, and I added a pack of taco seasoning mix to it. This is the low reduced sodium at Walmart. You can get this at Walmart. So that's a little better for those of you watching your sodium. But I added that to the ground turkey. And then I also went ahead and prepared a box of shells and cheese. Now you can use Kraft if you want to. This is not something we have in our house very often. In fact, we only use this when we make this casserole because typically I'll make homemade macaroni and cheese. I went ahead and I prepared that, and I have that right here. The next thing I'm going to do is take this macaroni and cheese, and I'm going to add about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of sour cream to this mac and cheese. And I would have loved to taken you guys over to the stovetop, but my lighting just was not good. Okay, scraping bottom here, and that's about 1/2 cup. And we're just gonna stir that in to the macaroni and cheese. And now we're gonna start layering. We're gonna start by oiling down a 7 by 11 baking dish. And if you wanna double this recipe, you can use a 9 by 13. So you're gonna put half of the macaroni and cheese mixture on the bottom first layer. Half of the ground beef mixture. You'll need 1 small jar of mild salsa, and I'm going to use half of that, and you're going to spread it out over the meat mixture. And I am using turkey burger. You can use beef if you want to. Now we're going to use some mild cheddar shredded and just put some on top. I did not measure this, just sprinkle with love. For the next layer, we're going to use the other half of the macaroni and cheese mixture. Now the other half of that ground turkey mixture or ground beef. And then the other half of the jar of salsa. And this really isn't as spicy as you would think. It's got just a little bit of, maybe just a little kick to it. I think the macaroni and cheese kind of balances out that kick from the salsa, and this has the absolute best flavor. Oh, it's good. And for our final layer, you're going to use some tortilla chips. Now, sometimes when you get to the end of the bag of tortilla chips and you have the crumbs, we actually save those to use for this recipe, but I didn't have any, so I had a few tortilla chips, and you'll just need to just run a rolling pin over those chips, and it crushes up just great. And that's what we're going to use to top this with. It's so simple. It took me altogether about 45 minutes to actually cook the ground turkey and the macaroni and cheese and to throw this together. It doesn't take long. I'm gonna put it in the oven on 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. And y'all, I don't have to taste this to tell y'all how good this is. This is definitely a go-to recipe in our house, especially when we have grandkids over. Carson loves this recipe. I want to tell y'all a cute little story. When he was younger, Papa made him, I guess he was about 4 or 5 years old, but Papa made him this casserole. And he was so funny. I got home from work and my husband said, I'm gonna make that tomorrow night. So I got home from work and I get out of my car, and maybe he was about 5. And he comes running to the car, Uma, you won't believe what Papa made for supper. And when I sat down at the table with him, y'all, he was sitting there doing this. With every bite, he'd take a bite and and he was so tiny, but he was like shaking his head like, this is so good. This is one recipe that you'll want to try and you'll keep. And I don't make promises, by the way, but if you like Mexican food and macaroni and cheese, you're gonna love this.